Hi there and welcome to this week's update. This is one that's kindly sponsored by Susan Greer, and she would like to nominate the charity Animaux Berry for her week sponsorship. It's a charity that helps animals that need rehoming on rescuing. That works here in Belgium. This week William gets to help me present the video, however it's been a week concentrating mainly on the young horses. It's one of those weeks I can barely remember what I've been doing over the last 24 hours, let alone 7 days. So it was Easter weekend. Friday, a group of us went cross-country schooling in Minderhout. I took the opportunity to take Aronia out and see how she reacted to fixed fences, water, group situation with other horses. One of the others there was Ricky, who we sold to Audrey last year. And they were actually the most grown up of the group, so often had to give lead horse over the more challenging fences so that the babies got the hang of how to do it. And then we all started working around individually. Aronia was really good actually. She was rather suspicious of the ditch, and she had to have a little look at it first before jumping. And then was jumping it extremely high. However, the water held no fears for her, and she was very happy to paddle in and out and play in the water. What else? Very happy going down drops and things like that. And then we put together towards the end a little round involving a bank and a little bench and stuff. As you can see, she can still put in a stop. She's, this is a little bit why she came to me. She's learned that if she threatens to rear, the pressure will go off. And it's something I'm trying to tackle, mainly in her flat work, of course. But I actually find jumping helps her quite a lot because it gives her something to think of in front of her instead of thinking backwards. Arguably maybe it was a bit too soon to take her cross-country schooling, but I think, we kept it really small, and I think it was overall it was a positive experience for her.
Non.
Et là, elle y va.
Facile.
Ouais, je crois que la jument, une fois qu'elle est lancée, il fait 1m combien?
She'll go again shortly, just to keep that idea of going out to places, being put in a slightly challenging environment, but not. I don't want her to start competing yet because I don't want her to learn that she can have 2 stops and leave the ring. So I think it's important that she goes on schooling outings. Meanwhile, that was it. The following day, we went eventing in Afflium, and I was riding homespun in her very first event, the 60cm class. And she loved it. She thought it was the greatest thing that had ever happened to her. Took on all the fences, and it's an event that's run on a budget, so all their fences are rather narrow. Good practice for later on when she does skinnies. She just got a bit scared at the water again, and we had to go in backwards like at Minderhout, but I've since been back there on her, to the same venue and been in and out of the water until she was really happy with it. She just has that initial nervousness, and once she's in, she's fine.
Good stuff.
And show jumping was also clear. It would have been mighty embarrassing if it wasn't at that height. And she did a very sweet little test. She just needs, her walk just needs to improve a bit because she gets quite excited, and so, you know, her walk is a little bit prancy and not quite true full time. But you know, she's just a delight to ride and to have around, and she seemed to really enjoy it, so that's positive for the future. I also was lucky enough to have a catch ride on. She's a rising 5-year-old mare that was sourced in the UK. Has done an event in the UK last year, the 4-year-old series there, and I rode her in the 80 centimetres for him as Frederick was injured in his shoulder, and again, really positive experience. She was given a run out, and I came back and jumped the fence again because she thought she'd jumped it, but she was actually outside the flags. So again, but she loved it as well. A little bit spooky to begin with, and got better and better as we went round.
Vad duktig jag är.
Ja.
Vad duktig jag är. Hoppla. Så bra.
Also clear show jumping and a very nice test too. So that was a really positive experience, and that was my birthday, so that was a nice birthday treat for me. Tuesday, this one went for a show jumping lesson at the country. It was raining, so there's no video footage, but I was very pleased because unprompted Nicolas said how much better William was moving, and he hasn't given us a lesson in 6 months. And these lessons are now, the lessons we're having now are sponsored by Super Studs, which is really kind of them. So we'll be trying to, you know, build up a little bit of consistency in the regularity of our lessons. But he jumped really well, warmed up in our usual fashion, poled to an upright, which we built up, then oxer. And then he didn't even put us through a line of fence. He was just like, right, off you go, around the course, and sort of, you know, 125. And in fact, we were so thrilled with ourselves jumping through the treble, and he gave me a super feeling for it, that we sort of went, oh god, that was amazing, and we sort of died a little bit on the turn, and then had to get it going again. And he said, I just need to watch that, you know, if he's jumping really well and I'm not having to do much, that I don't get so complacent that I don't do anything at all. So that was the main lesson we pulled from that training session. So coming up, we'll be doing a dressage lesson, William and I, and I might try and focus a little bit on the flat work I'm trying to do with Aronia and try and show, you know, what the main issues are with her and how we're trying to overcome them. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and hope to see you next week.